Hey everyone, it's Tim from timgagnonstudio.com, and I'm back this year with a new sketchbook challenge. So we're doing a sketchbook challenge for 2019. I did one in 2017 and did a bunch of drawing exercises and lessons for people to follow, just to get you drawing in your sketchbook more frequently. I have to admit, in 2018, I rarely drew in my sketchbook. I rarely drew at all, actually, and I'm kind of disappointed about that. It's something you should be doing almost every day, especially if you want to improve your painting skills, your photography skills, everything. If you can draw well, every other part of art will be a lot easier. So I'm making this video to go over some of the supplies for the sketchbook challenge of 2019, also to show you an exercise that I like to do almost daily that will help you with getting better hand-eye coordination and practicing your line work a little bit. It's just a little 5-minute drill that you can do every day. You don't have to do this in Sketchbook. You can do it on computer paper or notebook paper. It's just a good way to warm up before you actually sketch. Anyway, we'll get to that in just a few minutes. So in order to sign up for the Sketchbook Challenge, you don't really have to do anything. You can just come to YouTube and watch the videos. The only problem with that is I can't really post the reference photos that I use on YouTube. So if you go to Facebook and type in Tim Gagnon Sketchbook Challenge, last name is Gagnon. I know that's weird. Anyway, if you go to Facebook, there's also a link down in the description below. So if you go down and look in the description, you can find the link to the Facebook group page for the Sketchbook Challenge, where you can get all the reference photos. Also, if you go to thesketchbookchallenge.com, you can look at reference photos and exercises there as well. Anyway, I hope you join me in doing the Sketchbook Challenge. You don't have to do it every day. I'll probably do one video a week, maybe two, depending on how busy I am. But you really should be sketching a little bit every day if you can. But even if you do it 3 or 4 times a week, it's going to help you quite a bit. Okay, let's quickly go over some of the supplies. For me, I like using gray toned paper. You can see here, it's a Strathmore toned gray paper. I like using this because I like to use white colored pencils to change the value. That way, when you're using a soft lead that's really dark and then using a white colored pencil, you get lots of contrast and lots of range in your value. So I like using toned gray. You could also use toned tan. Any toned paper really will work. If you don't have toned paper, that's okay. You can still use a white sketchbook or white paper. You're just not going to be able to use the white colored pencil. You're going to have to use your other pencils to build up all the other values and then leave the white paper, kind of like watercolor painting. Anyway, so that's the paper that I use mostly, is the toned gray, toned tan. As for pencils, you know what, really the brand doesn't matter. I use General pencils, and I also use Faber-Castell. It's really up to you, it doesn't matter. I do recommend getting Prismacolor white colored pencils. Those are my favorite for sketching. Also a eraser pencil, which is really nice, so you can erase into the fine little detail areas without smudging everything. Those are nice. Kneaded eraser, which I don't normally keep it on the floor. I just dropped it halfway through making this video. So a kneaded eraser is really, really important. Best kind of eraser there is for drawing. And then for your pencils, you know, if you have a 6B, 4B, 2B, H, 2H, 4H, that's probably plenty for what we're going to be doing. We will do some detailed drawings, but that's a pretty good range to get a lot of different values. So, you know, a 6B to 6H would be plenty. Even if you just go up to 4H, that's probably good too. But if you have 8B to 8H, that's great. You're going to be able to get a lot more values that way. So again, the brand doesn't really matter. It's more just what you feel comfortable with. There's lots of different pencil brands out there, and they all are pretty similar in my opinion. So don't worry about that too much. Just try to get a white pencil, kneaded eraser, 6B to 6H or 4H is good. toned paper. If you don't have toned paper, white paper will work. You know, with the toned paper, you can kind of get a big range of values from lights to dark. So it's just kind of nice to have, but if you don't have it, don't worry about it. The important thing is just sketching as much as possible. So what I'm going to do is do a quick exercise, something that I like to warm up with pretty frequently. It's just contour drawing. So basically what you're doing is you're taking an image and just drawing the outline of it and trying to look at angles, maybe line weight, maybe negative space, all that, without really worrying about any detail within the image. This is a really good practice, a good exercise to get your hand-eye coordination down really well. So you're looking at angles, shapes, and just the outline with no detail. So I'm gonna have you zoom in, and we're just gonna use white computer paper today as we do these quick little 5-minute drawings. Okay, one other thing I forgot to mention that you might need in these lessons is a pencil sharpener. I like the electric pencil sharpeners. You can just use a manual one, but that one's kind of obvious. So hopefully you have one of those. Anyway, let's get started. For this, all I'm going to do is take this eraser and get rid of it, because this is not about erasing or getting perfect. This is about practicing hand-eye coordination. First thing I'm going to do, I've got a B pencil. You can use a 2B or a H or an F, anything that's kind of in the middle of everything. First thing I'm going to do, you can hold your pencil a couple different ways. If you want more kind of a flowy feel, you can hold it out with your fingers like this. You can hold it just like you're writing. I really don't care how people hold their pencils. It's all personal preference. There's great artists who hold the pencil like this or like this. There's no real rule. You can make rules if you want, but I don't like rules. So let's just say that right now, hold the pencil however you want. Okay, for a contour drawing, we're just drawing the outline and we're going quick to practice our hand-eye coordination. What we're doing is looking at the image and trying to just draw the outline without thinking about it too much. So the first image here I've got is a little cardinal, and what we're gonna do is take about 1 to 2 minutes to just draw the outline. So first thing I see is I'm looking at the angle of the top of the back, then the wing, then I'm looking at the negative space, and just following my eye along. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but what we're doing is trying to look at how everything relates to each other. So we're just drawing the outline. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can see mine's not perfect. It's just a little practice drill of drawing the outline of something. And the more you do this, the better you'll get at it. So that's the first one, cardinal. Let's do another one really quick right next to it. Okay, the next one here is a picture of my niece Annison, and we're just gonna, again, a contour drawing, starting wherever you want, looking at the image and just outlining it. So I'm gonna start at the head. This one's a little more complicated than the cardinal, but I'm just gonna draw what I see as the outline, looking at angles, and kind of goes into the grass there, so I'm just going to skip over. Again, into the grass. Okay, so again, just a quick contour shape. You can see even following the hairline, or the outside of the hair, not the hairline, and just outside of the body, the little hand over here, the shoulder. And again, we're just looking at angles and open space, not really worrying about any detail. Okay, last one to just kind of get us warmed up. Picture of my old dog Tucker. And again, just gonna look at the outline. this time I'm going to try to do it without lifting the pencil. So we're just going to, I'm kind of looking at the picture without really looking at the paper very much. I'm just kind of letting my eye do most of the work. And you know, if you're not looking, you can't expect it to be perfect. But that's not what we're trying to do here. We're trying to just practice our hand-eye coordination. And this has a very foreshortened image here. So you can see I messed that one up pretty bad, but that's not, you know, that's not the goal here, is to get it perfect. It's to just practice our hand-eye coordination and trying to get a somewhat accurate shape. This last one was pretty hard with the foreshortening, but again, try not to spend 5 minutes on each drawing. Try to do it for 20, 30 seconds up to a minute, maybe 2 minutes at the most. But really just practice that. Do that 5 or 6 times a day, and your hand-eye coordination is going to improve a lot. And you're going to start to be able to pick out negative space, angles, and all that really quickly. So that's just a little basic sketchbook challenge for you to start with. What you can do is do some of those contour drawings. I'll have these 3 images posted on the Facebook group page. You can do them and then post them on the Facebook group page just to show that you're taking part in the sketchbook challenge. And later this week, we'll have an actual drawing lesson, starting with some of the basic stuff, and then we'll move on to some difficult things as we go out throughout the year. Okay, so again, join the Facebook group page to post your progress. You don't have to. If you don't have Facebook, you can go to the sketchbookchallenge.com or also just watch on YouTube. You can subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button, and that way you'll make sure to not miss any of my sketchbook challenge videos. So we'll get a little bit more complicated and we'll dive right into some exercises a little bit later this week. This is just a basic exercise. It's a really common exercise to do for drawing. Just take some computer paper or a plain notebook, do some contour drawing every day, and your hand-eye coordination will improve drastically. So if you have any questions, you can post them in the comments below or visit the Facebook group page. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.